Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Maureen, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can. Good day, sir.
Okay, so good to be back again, guys. This is Young and Earning Summit, as everyone knows. This afternoon, we have someone else on the show with us today. It's been an amazing time. This is the 19th conversation, the 19th interview with a young and enterprising soul. And today we are going to be in this session, we're going to be talking all about writing, how you can make money from writing. Young and earning, that's what it is. Casting a narrative on individuals, young individuals who are doing amazing work, earning money legitimately. And this afternoon, we are going to be looking at writing and how to make money from writing. And my guest today on this live stream this afternoon is Maureen Eugene. And I'm looking forward to having a fantastic conversation with her this afternoon. So, if you are here right now, welcome everyone. Welcome. Let's know the city you are tuning in from. If you are in Nigeria, let's know where you are tuning in from. Outside of Nigeria, please let's know where you are tuning in from. It would be nice and fantastic to know where you are tuning in from, and then we can also say hello to you. Okay, so as usual, we will ask you, or I'm asking you to share this live stream so that this conversation can reach as many individuals as possible. And I'm looking forward to having a fantastic time. So I can see people already tuning in and sharing where they are from Kwara State, from Lagos. Oh, welcome. Maureen, welcome.
Sure. Thank you. Um,
Why,
Good
why are
afternoon,
you looking so
everybody.
excited? Why are you looking so excited like a child that is about to be given sweet?
I'm actually tense too. You are putting me on a high jump. I'm so tensed up right now.
Relax, relax. There's nothing. It's just a conversation we're having. Nothing much. You're not here to write exams.
Jump.
It's just a conversation. Okay, so let's
Okay.
jump right into it. All right, Maureen. So we want to know more about you. We have seen your bio. Your bio was quite short, but I know there are a lot of other things that we may have to know about you. So go ahead and tell us your journey from your life, journey of your life from childhood upon the things you've done, university, and upon this time. Give us your experiences. Share with us up until now that you are earning money by writing. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. As you all know, I'm Maureen. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know where I come from. Some don't know that I'm from Igbo. My name is Maureen, and I'm from Imo State. I I basically started writing in 2019. Yeah, and that was why when I was in my final year. Yeah, I was having issues with school. I was having some issues with school, you know trying to step up in my academics. I was struggling with my grades, and that was when I realized that okay, in as much as I'm going to have an extra year in school, what can I do while I'm just waiting this period? What am I going to do? What can I really do while I'm waiting? While I'm trying to, you know, graduate? Because I know my mates were leaving school and I was going to be left behind. So that was how my journey started. So in 2019, I was that student who would basically be in class. I was having um, I was having issues with trying to you know be the best student in my academics, trying to like top the class and all of that. So it was not working. And this was my final year. I already realized I'm going to have an extra year since others are leaving and all of that. So one day I was just thinking, I was in class, I was thinking, how am I going to um start? What am I going to do? What can I really do? Because honestly speaking, I don't know anything. Like at then I don't even know what I can really do. No skill. It's not like I can even, make hair, or probably I can do one or two things. I can say, okay, maybe I can be making money from it. No. I just know that there was nothing I could really do at then. I was just thinking. So and then realized that I could write stories, just fictions. I could write fictional stories, and I would just, even me myself would enjoy the fictions I wrote then. I usually enjoyed, and I'm like, wow. So I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it serious. So one day I discussed with, because I was really depressed. I was dealing with depression because of how my grades were going low, and my result was not really impressive and all of that. So I decided to discuss with GUC. GUC is a gospel singer, and I believe some of you know GUC. So I sent him a DM, and because of how um, how close we're, then I could literally reach out to him anytime, and he would advise me on what to do. So I now reached out to Juice, and I told him that I literally can write stories, but then I don't think it's something that can put me out there. I remember what he said. He said that let people know me for what I do. That these stories I'm writing, I should write them. I should not let anything discourage me. Let the world know me for what I do. That was what he said. So the next day, after that night, the next day, early in the morning, I posted a story, and I was so shocked at the number of people who engaged with that story and how people were sharing it. In fact, it really inspired me and motivated me to do more. So I constantly I consistently started sharing stories. Like even after that day, I shared another one, started posting stories every day on social media, on Facebook, and I got a lot of people, engaging my stories, and then it made me popular in school because me who even know me, so I was like kind of popular in school. When I enter class, people were like, "Yeah, Mori, are you doing writing that story?" They like, Jesus, Mori, you're good though. So now when I go to some of the departments, people are like, wow, you're the writer, but then I didn't really see it as anything. I was finding that happiness writing the story, because it was taking my mind off the whole school wahala and all of that, because I know that I was having an extra year, and then I felt ashamed. I'm going to stay back in school. I may start leaving. But then while I was writing stories, I realized that my worry and all those anxieties kind of reduced. I sort of enjoy my own content, sort of find my peace whenever I'm writing. It kind of takes my mind off all those worries. So that was how I started, and I kept on writing. So one day I was just thinking, I said, since this story is bringing me lots of people are coming to me, be like, Maureen, you're good, Maureen, you can write and all of that. And I said, how can I make money from this whole thing I'm writing? How can I make money? How can I really earn from this skill? So I reached out to Jago. In fact, each time I remember my story, how I started out, always remember Jago, because it was the first person that linked me up with linked me up when it comes to how to make money from your writing skill. So then Jago he already came to our school, or let me say there was an event, an event that I saw him speaking, and after then I realized I could literally reach out to this guy, and I would ask him for a few advice and all of that. So when I reached out to him, I told him about my writing skill, and why I want to like take it to another level and all of that. So he told me that he was going to help me out with somebody who would help me, who would give me job, when it comes to writing jobs and all of that. And then he linked me up with a lawyer, still writing articles. In fact, my first article paid me. My first article paid me 1,000 naira. So it was really motivating, and I was so happy. I was so happy, because I felt like, wow, if this could pay me 1K, that means there's more to where it's coming from. And that was where I started taking it serious. So even when I wrote my first article, there's a difference between you writing an article and then you writing a story or kind of a fiction. literally you can write a fiction and maybe you would get less criticism because probably that's you want the story to end like this. But then when you're writing an article for a blog, because you're trying to put out something where people would learn. You want to put out something people would learn, people can implement, and then they can get the results that they want. Okay, so I started writing the article, but my first article was not good. In fact, I when I got um the the feedback from the white man, because the lady that gave us that job, when she gave me the article to write, I was using very small, useless phone. The phone was no, it's not useless because that phone, God bless that phone. So the phone was just an old rickety phone. It's kind of, you know, small time phone don't off battery. I want the phone again, write my article, you know. I was just really struggling. My school days were just really, really something else. I I was just really, really struggling and all of that. So that was how that was how I submitted the article, and then the lady sent a feedback, and she said that this was what the man said, and I looked at the whole thing. The feedback was just, in fact, it was depressing. By the time I read, I read it one by one, I mean, one after the other. I literally just went to bed, and I was sulking for like days. I literally said I will not write again. Back, I will not write. Which kind of feedback this? The feedback was just like when somebody gives a feedback, there's a difference between you giving a feedback and then it comes in a demeaning way. You know that kind of thing. Someone not tell you this thing is not for you. Whoever wrote this article, so those kind of things. So the feedback was really, really depressing, and I told myself I was not going to write an article again. I was not going to do anything writing. Maybe it's not just for me. Maybe I should just leave it. I felt depressed. I was really down. So when she gave me, in fact, I told her that I don't want the 1K that she wanted to pay me, that she should not worry. I felt bad. I just, that impression, I was like, hi, I don't know how this lady will be seeing me now. Maybe she will not even give me a job again. So me, I told her that I don't want to write. She now said I shouldn't worry. I shouldn't worry. I'm gonna fail to mention her name. Her name is Leslie Wisabo. That's her name, and she has been some sort of support system to me, like when I started my journey. So when I told her I was not going to write, she told me not to give up. She encouraged me, sent me a message, talked to me, and told me to write another one. I wrote another one. It was not like it was even better, but like it was like it was even like better, but it was better than the last one. Yeah, so that was how I started working for her. I was working, writing articles. Sometimes I write like 16 articles and I'll get like 16K. It was really, I was just happy. At least there was something taking my mind off all those school problems. Sometimes you're coming to check your result, you're seeing an E. All those things were really, I felt happy. I felt this comfort, like, oh God, I'm doing what I love. Oh, finally, that kind of a thing. So that was how I started my whole thing. The whole journey started. And then the next person I started working for was Nancy Legacy. And I and Nancy, started as a very good, we started very well because she was really a nice person. She was encouraging me, telling me what to do. She gave me jobs, and she paid me. But then something happened. I was not delivering quality content for her, and then we started having issues. But that was when I took my career serious. When I was working for the previous person, I was not really taking courses, nothing. I was not exposing myself to materials. So I think in that was in 2020, early 2020 or so, when I started writing for Nancy and all of that. She now told me to to take a course, and I should go on HubSpot, take a course, do this, do that. And then I took a course. I started writing, you know. I felt very bad though, because I thought I was already doing well, but then her feedback came and it was showing that I was still not a good writer. I was not writing articles that are, you know, really, really enticing, that that can drive or bring results and all of that. So I felt bad to an extent, but then I was really resilient. Like, that's what I could call it. I was really, really, really ready. I was determined. To. That's one thing I always tell writers, that feedback are not for you to feel down, not for you to feel that you're not good enough. It's just for you to just push yourself a bit, just push yourself, you know, try more. So when she told me that, I started taking the course on hotspot, started doing some stuff and all of that. And then one of those days, I started working with DABA.co, and DABA gave me that platform because my boss Chris saw the fact that I have this potential. He said, okay, this is, I want you to come work with me and all of that. So that was where, in fact, my whole journey, you know, kind of started growing faster, because I started writing for DABA even when I knew my article were, you know, were just below standard and all of that. I had this content strategist, our team lead, who was there for me, and his name is Gideon. Gideon was there, was correcting my work. The times Gideon would complain, he would leave comments on my articles, he would make a lot of comments, and you know, and sometimes I would just be angry. So I would argue over the whole thing. I would like, I know what I wrote here. He would like, no, this is, you know, all that kind of thing. We had a lot of backlash and all of that. But then eventually I evolved. I learned to accept or embrace feedback. I learned to you know, take corrections, and it helped me. It helped me because there are certain things now I'm doing, certain platforms where I work now, certain projects I handle now, that when I look back, I realize that yes, I I wouldn't have arrived here if I didn't take those steps, if I didn't accept those things. Because of course, these people meant well for me, you know, they really wanted me to, you know, grow. And God has been helping me. I've been I've been succeeding in my career. You know, I've been steady, or say consistent, because I know a lot of people who I started with on this path. Some of them have, you know, some people are already doing something else. Like somebody else is doing graphic design. The same person that was doing writing is now doing another thing, which is not actually bad though. But you know, a lot of people are looking at you, and probably someone has the skill, this writing skill, and wants to learn how to make money, how to start, and this person is watching you, and suddenly you're now, you know, moving out of the skill, you're now changing the skill, you're now doing something else different from what you're known for. People would literally feel that, okay, black money not come out from this skill and all of that. But then the fact that I'm be working, you know, I work from home basically, and then I've literally been doing very well in my career. I've been doing very well since I started. Not like since I started though, but you know, I've been doing well, and I thank God for that. So the whole thing is that my journey wasn't that easy, wasn't that smooth, wasn't that smooth. I know how short my story might be now, but then when I started, I really had a rough time. I had a rough time trying to suit clients right to their taste, and I had a rough time delivering on time, because I was trying to still make money. That's what I was trying to learn. But then I would take more than I could deliver as a writer. Someone is giving me an article to write. Someone is giving me an article to edit and all of that. And I'm promising you I'll deliver at this time, I'll deliver at the other time. And then at the end of the day, I'm not able to deliver. it's it's not been it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy because I was trying to as well meet up with everything and still be the ideal writer that people will always want and all of that. So there are days that even as a writer, um it's not forthcoming. Like, you will literally see that clients are not coming and all of that. Even when I started as a writer, there are things I didn't do well that really pushed me out, put me as an authority, or as an expert. So when I started as a writer, I was actually writing good content, but then there were things I was not doing very well. And one of those is I was so broke. I was broke. I was looking so weak. And I went to Boss Emeka's office. I went to see him at the office, and I told him that I'm literally broke. I don't know what to do, and I'm confused and all of that. He looked at my wall. He said, "Can't you see what you are doing? You play a lot. You're always posting cruise, cruise, cruise." Always posting cruise, you're only catching cruise. Your profile picture self doesn't even show that you're really a serious person. How do you want people to take you serious? That things he told me, he literally gave me some free um tips on how to step up my skill and all of that, how to make money. And then after that meeting that day, that was where the whole breakthrough started. Like, yes, I have a skill, but then I was lacking something. So I went home, and then the money I had, like, I think I was have I did it. I did a writing job or so that gave me like 5K. And then I went to the studio and I took shots, and then changed my profile picture, changed everything, reintroduced myself to my audience, I listed some of my services, and then it started working for me. I started noticing people started noticing me, started, send me messages. Can you do this for us? Can you write a sales copy? Can you do this one? Can you write website content? And then I didn't stop. I kept showing up, because one thing about this whole thing is being consistent. Because you might think that because you've grown to a particular extent, then you don't want to be posting, you don't want to be showing up as you should. But then people would literally move on, and the next person, they won't even recognize or remember you again. So you need to be like consistently posting your content, for people to know that this girl or this person offers this kind of service. So I was consistent. I was always posting content. I was always online trying to research the kind of topics I should share. So one thing that helped me is observing. I'm someone who literally likes to observe a lot. Like, if you're someone who's doing very well, I can just observe what you're doing, and then if it's something that will benefit me, I will learn. So and first I was observing Mr. Emeka Nobis. I was observing the kind of content he was pushing out. I noticed that in his content you will see, entertaining content, educating content. You will see all those information coming from his timeline. And that was what I was like, okay, this is what Mr. Emeka Nobis does. He does not always post serious things. So I started mixing my content, started posting on social media. By the time I started working, I was working for DABA. I was also making my own money, because I was running my own writing service. And then I noticed that the whole thing was becoming too much for me to handle. Then I was taking trainings. If you notice, I usually run one-on-one, and then sometimes I was running group trainings and all of that. So I started working with, I think there was one particular person I started working with. So most time when the job was too much, that we're writing a book or writing an article or managing a content or all of that. When it became too much for me, I started working with somebody, and then the workload was kind of reducing to an extent. And then this person I was working with was someone who was in one of my trainings. And then I started coaching this person. showing this person how to write this way, how to do this, how to critique your work before you submit or before you release it or publish it, how to question your article or your content, to ensure that you cover all loopholes and all of that. So I started working with those people. So the goal of every business is to make money. So okay. So the goal of every business is to make money. It's not just for you to post content where people would laugh and love and hail you. At the end of it, you want to make money, right? So I realized that I need extra hands so that I can be able to deliver on time, be able to win my customers' trust, and also be able to make more money. So I hired more people. Like right now we are about 4 or 5. I think so. We're about 5 who work together at the moment. So we started working together, and it's been amazing because these people are people who, when they started this whole thing, because even some are no longer with me, because I literally saw them getting more opportunities, and it's really amazing when you see people you've trained so far or people you worked with, going to work with other organizations. And it's amazing because these people, it shows that you're doing a great job on them. You understand? So I was really, really, really happy to see some of them, working with certain brands today, So when I started and I realized that more jobs were coming, I literally had to get more people to work with me. It's not about being greedy or, hey, this money I can't share. No, the whole thing is a win-win at the end of it. So that was how I started. For the money making side of my writing, like I always tell people that there are many ways to make money if you're a writer. There are many ways to make money. You don't have to limit yourself to maybe you want to just be a copywriter, or you just want to be a content writer, or you want to be a social media man. There are many ways to make money, and I will tell people that as a writer, try as much as possible to be very creative. If you're very creative, there is nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot write. Yeah, you actually want to carve out a niche for yourself. But I tell people that having just one niche is not always good. For me, I think it's not always good because it makes you not being versatile enough, not being able to know a lot of things. When I started as a writer, I was really writing everything. When I started, everywhere I was just there. I was everywhere because I didn't understand my journey. I was just trying to learn. I was just trying to, you know, build myself. I was trying to discover myself. I was trying to know myself. I was just happy that I can write, but then I didn't know where I was heading towards. But with time, I realized that there are things I just can't really do very well. There are things I realized that nobody told me. I realized that, okay, there are certain topics that are very sensitive. But when it comes to health niche now, health niche is a very sensitive niche. And I don't advise everybody to go into health niche because it's more like when someone is sick, person can just check on Google and say, well, what are the symptoms of this and all of that. So whatever you dish out, even Google, it's not like Google does not, people pay to rank. So even when you get the first page that pops up on Google, it doesn't mean that it's always correct, because now people pay to just for them to rank on Google. So someone can write rubbish and then it's just kind of ranking on Google, and the first thing you're seeing is the symptoms of this thing is you start being scared. I don't get cancer, that kind of a thing. But then it's someone that is just putting out rubbish there. So I feel I always tell people that if you want to write anything, you want to be on a niche, you should be very, very knowledge. You should just know that I know this thing like the back of my hand, like the back of my hand. Like me now, I know my niches, I know where my strengths lies and all of that. So when I started, I was doing writing everything, and then with time I started discovering the kind of content I can really write on, and where my strength lies. And there are times that I started dropping the level of writing, the way I write stories. I started dropping my story writing stuff. I stopped writing stories on Facebook and social media, because it's not like I stopped ultimately, but I reduced it because people were mistaking me for a script writer. So most time when I write stories, people reach out to me, do you write scripts? Can you write script for us and all of that? And I just felt like this is not where I don't feel. I don't feel me when I'm doing this thing. It's not where I want to be in the business part. I want to be doing B2B, business to business content, anything business to business. Building products, writing about it, trying to get people to know about your business. That's just what I love to do. That's where I see myself. So that's why I decided, okay, I want to be in the B2B aspect of writing. That's just where I want to find myself. If I ever want to write stories, just for me to enjoy myself, or probably just to write for the writing sake, but not that I'm actually. So if you're a writer and you're looking at the fact that you're not doing much in your skill, you feel your skill is not paying you well the way you want it, then you should look at how you started and how far you are right now. Look at the fact that, ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing that, or what are others doing that you're not doing? Try to find out what is missing in your own lane. What is missing in your own writing? What is missing in your career? What is missing, in fact, generally, when it comes to branding, how you present your content? What are you not doing? Try to pay for certain classes and mentorship. I remember last year I paid for Sam's training, and I went there, and it was like a whole long journey from Port Harcourt to you. But then I was looking for one thing, even when she listed a whole lot of stuff. But I told her it's just one thing I want to come at, one thing. So it doesn't matter where you are right now in your career. You don't think your writing career is dying, because first of all, let me clear your head first. There's money in writing, and that's truth. You can make as much as you want as a writer. There's money in writing. And then secondly, if you want to make money from writing, then you need to do what most successful writers are doing. And for you to know what they are doing, you need to be in their circle. And how can you be in the circle? You have to pay, to learn. Pay to learn. Don't be so don't think that you're dashing. These people are making money. They know what they are doing. They know what they do. Sometimes don't think that because of the training people are holding, or the training we are holding is just for us to make money. There are other ways, like I've always said, other ways we make money from writing. So even as a writer, and you're not making enough right now, first of all, ask yourself, what are others doing that you're not doing? Most successful writers, what are they doing now that you're not doing? Okay, look at your profile. Ask yourself, if I was someone else and I look at this my profile, is this something that is appealing? Is this something that I can trust you, or trust this person with my work? There's so many people willing to hire you and give you 6-figure deals, 7-figure deals for you to write for them. I'm telling you the gospel truth. So the thing is, ask yourself, look at what others are doing, compare and look at it. But then if you're starting as a writer, I would advise you to focus more on becoming competent. Focus more on increasing your improving your writing skill. Focus more on being better, being competent, being trustworthy. Build that skill, develop that skill, because it's how far that skill can take you. There are people that right now they are more focused on throwing having more trainings. Every month they're having the training. Every month they're having the training. They want to teach you how to make money. To be frank, they are not even making money from some of those ways. They are just making money from the training they are giving you. These people, their skill may be even, you know, abysmal. Like the writing skill could be really abysmal. So they're not even up to standard, and they're just training and all of that. And then you're paying to, you know, learn from these folks. You need to focus on how to write better. Leave the money aspect. I always tell people, leave the money aspect, because even when I started, I got lots of feedback on my writing skill, and you know, they were really not impressive because I felt like I was not doing enough. Even when I was earning that 16K, when I write 16 articles, it's something very tedious, because no, I don't think any writer right now can actually charge 1K, 1,000 naira for per article. It's very hard now. The least somebody can pay you for 1,000 word article is like $5, $10. The least, like literally, if somebody wants to just post, because yes, people when you go on platforms like Upwork, you see ridiculous prices for your services. But then I'm just telling you the list. And but then I was earning that low. I was earning that per word thing. And what was really my push or my drive was for me to become better. Because even I knew that if I was not better, I would be replaced. I'll be replaced in my place of work. I'll be replaced by whoever was giving me a job or anything. But then I was more focused on how to be better. There were times I would write article, I would send it to Gideon, or I would send it to Nancy. So by the time Nancy saw my work, when was that again? She was like, "Wow, Maureen, you've really improved. You know, you've really, really, really improved. I'm so happy." But then it's there's never a place where you get to say you've arrived and you're now you're now you have gotten to the this thing. But the thing is, you have to keep pushing yourself. You have to constantly write for you to up your game. Now everybody's talking about chat GPT and all of that. It's not like people will still not use it for their businesses or whatever. You yourself as a writer, you need to also improve on your skill. You need to, because when somebody looks at your work and then compares it to what an AI is writing, and AI seems to be better than what you're writing, you're not writing well, you're not writing to satisfy what he wants, what he knows his clients will need, then the person will replace you. So I would always encourage young writers, I would encourage budding writers to focus on getting better. Take your eyes off the money. Like, the money will always be there for you. You will always make millions. You will always make thousands. But then you need to focus on being, better, being competent. People will judge your work by the content you put out on social media. And that's someone looks at your content and then the person weighs it. The person can tell the kind of content you can produce by mere looking at what you put out on social media. And how did I spread myself when I started? I was basically on Facebook, and then that was where I usually post my flyers and then my content on, sometimes on WhatsApp. And people recommend me. Recommendation is superb. Like, it works so much. People will recommend you for different jobs. Like my friend Chelsea, I will always mention her because I remember one of those days she recommended me for a job that, in fact, it's let me not talk. Let me not talk. But recommendation is good. But before someone recommends, you have to be good. Somebody cannot just recommend you when they know that you're not even good. You're not your work is whack. It's abysmal. You need to be very much you need to be very good with your work. You need to be, the person can bet on, when somebody is recommending, person is betting on his own name too, trying to prove that this girl is good, this guy is good. So recommendation works for me. I was on WhatsApp, I was on Facebook then, and then I was posting almost every time, every day. I made sure that I always post the content. Even if I was really busy, I tried my best to show up on people's faces and all of that. So with time, I moved to LinkedIn. I moved to LinkedIn, and then I had an account with on Upwork, and then also I started posting on LinkedIn and Twitter. Exploring the platform, I realized that LinkedIn had more opportunities for me. It had more opportunities because the way the algorithm works, it's something that can actually give you a very good gig. You understand? So LinkedIn was where I started posting more content, and then I was sounding more official, more formal than Facebook, because Facebook you can actually post anything, you can cruise with anything and all of that. But then LinkedIn had this mixture of people from different places. You're seeing someone from US, you're seeing someone from Canada, you're seeing someone from Cameroon. People are reading your content and all of that. So you're trying to, bring your business to their face and all of that. So that was when I moved. I moved to LinkedIn. I had my online presence on Facebook, had my online presence on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp. Don't underrate your family members and friends, because literally your friends are the ones that might even recommend you for, they will recommend you for one of the biggest gigs ever. You will not believe it, because I have friends even up to this moment that would send me links and all of that opportunities. I have friends that still help me today, who sends me even today. I have a friend by name Ozochukwu. He just sent me an opportunity that I am really, really, I was very ecstatic before this video started. So what am I saying? Friends are always there to help you, not there to, not for you to feel that your friends because I know people will tell you that you should, when you start being serious with your social media or your online presence, you should unfriend your friends that they are not adding to you. But that's a lie. Your friends are values, value, or should I say assets, because these people are there to, they're there to also support you in many ways. There are friends that will send you opportunities, recommend you. People were like happy that they have a friend who's a writer, and they will always mention, I have a friend Maureen, she's a writer. I have a friend Maureen, she's a writer. That kind of a thing. So it was bringing me opportunities, and that is why I don't think it's good for you to try to push your friends aside. So I had my online presence on Twitter. In fact, I think in 2020 there was one gig I did on Twitter, and that was my first gig ever, because then I was that was my first gig on Twitter. I was just new on Twitter, and then this guy just sent me a message, and then asked me to help him do this, and he paid. I charged him. He paid me immediately, and then I did the job and sent to him, and he sent again, came again. Even last year he came again. I was like, wow. So it's good to spread yourself. Don't think because some writers are literally just um they're just sitting in one corner. They just want to be on the comfort zone. You need to spread yourself. You need to be on Twitter. You need to be on Facebook. You need to be like when people on Instagram. There was one lady, I was using her picture to write on Facebook. Then I was writing stories. So I would usually use people's picture to gain attention. When I want to get attention from people, I'll usually use a nice picture and write my story. And people will read the story, and they will picture everything. So that lady, I was using her picture. And then, how did this start? First, I reached out to her that I like one of her picture and I would like to use it for my story. Before she would reply, because she took time. I thought she would not even see my message. And then I already started using it. So she reached out to me and said I shouldn't use it. I told her I've already used your picture. She didn't see anything. And then I constantly kept writing stories. And one of those days, she reached out to me, I think after a year. And she asked me, do you still write? I said, yes. She now said, okay, can you write for me? And all of that. So I started writing for her. The times I was doing at least 100,000 Naira deals for her. I would write content for her website and all of that. And then she would pay me. And then I was like, wow, see person way I don't know. Someone I actually, sort of, I just saw her picture randomly. I don't know how I got to see her picture. I was like, let me just see this picture. So this is how this person, that kind of a thing. I didn't mean I was not conscious. That's why I keep preaching on consistency. I knew I was not consistent with my content or with myself on my skill, and then I was just, changing and all of that. I believe by now that even when she reached out, I wouldn't have been able to
Hey, Maureen. Seems that she has. Let me remove her from the screen. Okay, guys. So I hope you've gotten some great value from what she has been sharing so far. And as usual, I will always advise that we share the live stream now while we wait for her to come back. We have just about 5 to 10 minutes to be done with this session. Okay. I think she's back. Let me see. Not yet. Okay. So if you've got some value. Okay. Maureen, you can hear me now, right?
yes,
Can you
yes,
hear me?
yes, yes.
Okay, so go ahead. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, we should be done. And
Okay.
so far, you've done quite an amazing job. Telling us about your journey and how you're making money from writing. But I want to ask this question at this point, because having seen you over the years, you have changed your branding style, um, the pictures you take, the kind of places you go, the way you carry yourself, and all that. Are those also part of how you position for writing? And what kind of advice can you give to individuals um, who truly want to be like you and what you're doing at this point in time?
Okay. So what I would say is this, that if you want to, like me, when I yeah, yes, yes, yes. Let me answer the first question. The pictures I take, you know, those let me say visuals, all of them are part of my branding and a part of what I want people to, see me as. When I started, I reached out to Mr. Mechanobis one day because I was literally broke. I was a writer. Yeah, people know me. They were hailing me writer, writer. But then I was broke. I know deep down. When person they hear you say, when they hear you say chairman, chairman, but then say get cha cha, nothing come and like chingba, nothing follow. So that was me then. I was like, everybody hear me writer, writer. But then I don't say nothing. Follow like you charge me even 20K. No. So what happened was when I reached out to him, he told me that I'm always posting picture like I'm suffering. So he said I'm writing, I was posting picture like I was suffering, like my whole life is finished. There are people that when you go to their work, you always see content about death, creepy things. They're writing, suicidal things. Like these people are literally going to commit suicide if you don't reach out to them. Those kind of content. In fact, there was one particular girl that I don't know if she's a lady or a guy, but then she bear the name scribbled pen or scribbled writer or something like that, and then she finally killed herself. But every time on her wall, she's writing long poem, creepy things, death, wearing death is calling me, using all those poetic lines and all of that. It's just so creepy. But then mine was, I was always posting pictures that were looking, that was just like, chai. People when I miss like keke. So all of them were passing a wrong message to my audience. The thing is, I discovered early that people would rather give money to someone they have a different perception about, not someone they feel is suffering, because they would not trust you. They will not trust you. They would rather trust someone who they look at you, they know that you're not looking hungry, you are the one that want to help them. They are not the one to help you. People are not looking for someone to help. That's the truth. They're looking for someone that can help them solve problem. And me dressing that way, me presenting myself as someone who's broke, who is going through a whole lot. Like now in Nigeria, they said if you're not coming from a lot, you're going through a lot or something like that. So I was twisting, kind of giving that vibe that I was really, things were really rough with me. I know that things were really rough with me. It's just that I didn't know how to package myself. There's a difference between when you see a Coca-Cola bottle that, or a Coca-Cola drink that has wrap. Had it been Coca-Cola, or let me say, yeah, Coke now does not have Coca-Cola does not have some, it's not branded well, it doesn't have the wrap, it looks just somehow. People would not drink Coke. But the branding is one that makes it very attractive, make it enticing for people to buy and drink. So even as a writer, you're not supposed to be looking like the whole world is against you or you're going through so much. You need to put out a happy face. You need to put out quality pictures, not pictures that make you feel like that tells the world that this one this job we won't give her now to use and solving problem first. No, people want to look at you and see that you're someone that can solve the problem for them. You're not in need, but you are the needed. You understand? So you need to believe that, you to know that you're the needed, not the needy. And if you carry yourself just with this mindset that you are the needed, and then you are a problem solver, you are the solution they need, you then start dressing when you start dressing well, start carrying yourself differently. Your content, your pictures, you don't just snap anyhow. These are the things I learned from my boss, Mr. Mechanobis. You don't snap pictures anyhow from different places, that would trigger certain feelings or give wrong impression. No. So you need to carry yourself that way. So these are ways I actually make my money. Because when I do these things, when I take this nice shots, when I create this nice content, people reach out to me. Maureen, I want to learn how I can make money. Maureen, I want to learn how I can write well. Maureen, I want to learn how I can, writing betters your life. Writing gives you anything you want. Writing gives you money. Writing gives you influence. Writing gives you it gives you freedom. It gives you what you want. I don't know what you want as a writer. Do you want influence? Do you want money? Do you want to be known? Do you want to be popular? Do you want to, gain certain audience and attention? That is what writing does for you. But then you packaging yourself, you carry yourself as an authority, carry yourself very well, that is what brings the opportunity faster. Do you get me? So that's that for the question.
Thank you so much, Maureen. Thank you. You've done great justice to everything that you've been sharing with us today. I'm very glad. I see a lot of people who have tuned in. So, guys, please do share this live stream and let everyone, your friends and your compatriots, be able to enjoy the session we've had today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah, I've got a few comments. The quality of pictures is so important. You are needed, not the needful. There's some feedback, but it can make you want go into depression and give up. I admire the way you handled feedback. You use it to improve on your writing instead of letting the feedback affect you negatively. That's true. Thank you so much, Maureen. It's been an amazing time with you.
Thank you. Thank you
Always
so
a
much.
nice time to have with you. I look forward to having another session with you. Thank you for
Thank you so
doing
much,
just
sir. Thank
session.
you. Thank you for the platform. I really, really appreciate it. In fact, you're one of the people that carried me on this journey. So I'm always grateful, and I'm saying this in front of everyone that follow this man. This man
You're still
Sabi.
owing
So
me.
thank you.
You're still owing me. You're still owing me. You know what you're owing me then? Should I say it?
No, no,
You're
no, 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 no.
still- All right. So, guys, thank you so much for all the time and your attention. God bless you. Tomorrow again at 12 noon, we'll be back again. This today is 19th. We have just 2 more days to go on Young and Earning. Just 3 more individuals, young individuals who are doing amazing work. And on the 22nd, Young and Earning Summit will come to a final close. Thank you so much for being on this journey. God bless
Bye.
everyone. From me to you, goodbye. See you tomorrow.